Ali, can you say how good I was? Hey, Ali.
Hey, Andrew.
It's the Showstopper Podcast, a monthly chat to amazing people from the world of musical theatre, improv and comedy. How are you doing, Ali? Because I have a feeling you might be a little bit on the tired side.
I am a little bit. I've just done a 48-hour improvathon, just 3 weeks after the London 50-hour improvathon. What a wildcat.
Yeah, you thought the only way to recover your mind, body and soul from 50 hours of sleep-deprived improvisation was to do it again.
I can't get enough of it.
So we had the London Improvathon, which was set in the world of Moulin Rouge, turn of the century France. You then led the South End Improvathon, set in a magical school. What were your highlights?
Definitely from the London, it's got to be your character, the Phantom of the Opera.
You are too kind. That sounds like I was asking a really leading question. Like, Ali, can you say how good I was?
Well, you were. I mean, that scene, Adam Megiddo, our artistic director at Showstopper, called a scene for Andrew where he was on TikTok speaking to his Phantom of the Opera followers. I nearly hyperventilated with laughter.
We also had your Cilla Black, who I think appeared in both London and Southend, am I right?
Yes, in Southend I was called Silius Black at the School of Magic, which was a lot of fun.
Amazing.
Yeah, there's something about playing Scylla that I find very calming.
Oh, interesting. I mean, it is incredible, your Scylla. Like,
thank you.
I love seeing people watch you do it for the first time because they're always floored by just how you just embody her. Scylla comes into you.
Amazing improviser Andrew Gentili said to me, how do you create the body of Cilla Black? And I said, I imagine that I'm tied up with elastic bands. and he seemed to get that because he's such a physical performer. What a character actor. Wow.
Absolutely. And also a great impressionist as well. He does a Jonathan Pryce, which is such a specific impression. Remember that being called? And like just thinking like Jonathan Pryce, that's not a very like imitable actor. And then just Jonathan Pryce emerged. It was incredible.
Yeah, he really does channel it.
Absolutely.
In the South End one, there's an improviser called Wendy Morgan, and she did this scene where she was looking for something in the Thames, and she was playing a very high status sort of buttoned up character, and she just didn't want to walk on the muddy floor with all the little fish and bits of rubbish down there, and she just started swearing, but the character was it was so truthful, and the character, it was so out of step with who she was to hear her swear, but in this situation that character would be swearing, and it was absolutely hilarious. Again, just another hyperventilation.
Speaking of incredible, talented people, in this month's episode of the Showstopper Podcast, our guest is the incredible Billy Roberts.
Another amazing impressionist, another amazing actor who jumps all over the industry. You know, used to play heartthrobs and now he's playing incredible character roles.
At the time of recording, he was the alternate Mrs Doubtfire in the Mrs Doubtfire, the musical, which has just closed in London. And you were fortunate enough to see him in the role, weren't you, Ali?
Yes, it was just so brilliant. What a joyful, uplifting show Mrs Doubtfire is. If you get a chance to see it on tour when it's on the road next year, then please do, because it's just... It's such a fond memory, obviously, the film, but the musical is so new and so different, and they've really homaged it brilliantly, but equally taken it forward and really made it a story that's relevant to today and especially the children of today.
We recorded this episode backstage at the West End, and Showstopper musical director extraordinaire Duncan Walsh Atkins was on keys. We also had Showstopper Justin Brett in the room. Let's listen.
Yay!
Welcome, Billy Roberts.
Hey! Hello.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Billy, how's it feel to be in the Showstopper podcast studio?
Oh my God, I'm very excited. It's my debut podcast. I've never done a podcast before.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You're so brilliant at it.
Never, no. I've done like when you're on tour and you do sort of like media interviews for like local newspapers, stuff like that.
Interviews?
Yeah, exactly,
Right, yeah.
So that's the only time I've ever had this experience of sort of chatting over a microphone. I've never done a podcast.
Well, you're very welcome here. Look at you just settling into it all.
Oh, I know, yeah, it's
I'm
very
feeling
nice.
a lot of pressure now being Billy's inaugural podcast.
Yeah,
We've got to
it's
make it a
exciting.
very good experience, Ellie.
Yeah, we have.
He is gripping his hands together quite tightly, though, I've noticed. And now he's clapping them. He's maybe not as quite as relaxed as he...
No, I'll put them under my legs. There we
We'll
go.
check in with you throughout the podcast and see how it's going, see if it's living up to everything you could have dreamed of.
Great.
Yeah.
And we also have Justin Brett in the studio.
Hello.
Showstopper extraordinaire.
Whoop, whoop.
How fareth thee, Justin?
I'm grand, thanks.
Good.
I'm very good.
How many podcasts have you done, Justin?
Quite a number. I've done a few other ones, but I've done a few of these as well. Great story, Justin. Tell it again.
Next time you're on, let's wheel out that anecdote again.
Hey, it's a keeper. No, Peter Shilton. He's a keeper.
Very good.
Please cut that.
There is no. Every time anyone says, please cut that on a podcast, it's the rule that you have to leave it in.
Uh-oh.
Could you explain it at least?
What, please cut that?
No! Who
Who's
is
a
it?
goalkeeper?
Peter Shilton?
Peter Shilton is a goalkeeper from the 80s.
Okay. That's why I didn't get it.
That's it.
Highest.
I don't
captain
even know if
England
that's
player.
my joke. It might have been what I remembered from ages ago, which is even worse.
Well, it's going so well so
Yeah, it's
far,
fantastic.
I'd say. So, Billy, you're doing something really amazing at the moment in the performing arts industry.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm currently the alternate Mrs Doubtfire
Oh,
in London. Yeah, which is still, honestly, I know it seems like the corniest thing to say, but every single day when I go to the theatre, and especially when I do the show, so I do 1 or 2 a week scheduled, and then obviously Gabe's holiday or if he's ever unwell. And especially when I catch myself, you start the show as Daniel, and then you start Act 2 as Mrs Doubtfire, and there's a mirror right outside the dressing room, and you do sort of, and you just go, I can't believe I've got this opportunity. It's like, yeah, it's honestly the role of a lifetime. Have you seen it? Have you seen it?
I actually haven't
I
seen
haven't
it
seen
yet.
it.
No.
But
No.
I want to guarantee that I'm going to see you.
Well done, background work there, Stoppers.
Oh, we need a more showbiz reaction to that.
Yes.
Like, oh, of course.
Yeah.
Darling, you were wonderful.
Yeah.
I came out humming the face.
Yes.
I have seen clips of it, on the promo, on the media interviews that they did.
Yes.
And the...
Not the podcasts.
No, the children in need and stuff.
Yes, they did Make Me a Woman on there, which
Yeah.
got the big number that then turns Daniel into, obviously, Mrs Doubtfire. So Gabe Vick is currently playing the role. He's been doing it since Manchester, and he is just a phenomenon. I watched the show. Is that the right word? Did you say the right word?
Yeah.
And I watched the show and called my girlfriend Daisy and went, I don't think I can do this, because he is so unbelievable. But I think I think I've got there. I think, but he's just been an amazing person to learn off as well.
That's great.
So it's just a role of a lifetime. You don't leave the stage. When you leave
Yeah.
the stage, it's literally just 20 seconds is the most time I think we have to get either from Daniel to
wow.
Mrs D or Mrs D to Daniel. And then the other changes are on stage.
Oh, so there's not
Wow.
it's not an hour-long interval
No.
of going into makeup?
No,
Okay.
no. Actually, I've told a lie there. Make Me a Woman number, we normally have about a minute, I think, which is the only time, because it's the first time the audience meet her.
Yeah.
So it's like the time we go, we need to make sure it looks right. But as I say, I get into her, and that sounds so... I get changed as Mrs Doubtfire and get undressed as Mrs Doubtfire on stage sometimes as well, where it's just me doing it out of the bodysuit, out of the mask. So the show is wild, but it's incredible.
And you say it's a mask.
It's a mask, yeah.
Moulded for you?
Molded for me, yeah. So that was one of the other things. I remember, like, maybe a month before I started rehearsals. It was the day I first watched the show, actually, because I'd not seen it either. And they call you in, they say, we're going to do a mould of your face. You're like, this is crazy. So you just sit there in a chair, and it was just this 3D. It was sort of like, like a staple gun or something. It was like that. It just goes around with all these lights just shining over your
They
face.
stapled it into your...
Yeah, stapled it into my face. But yeah, just with like these 3D lights coming through, and then just they mould it to your face, and they do all
they
the makeup.
didn't, like, stick your face in...
No,
Oh my
they've
God.
stopped doing that
I
now.
see.
Yeah, I think they stopped doing that since COVID.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So obviously Gabe's been the only person that's played it. There was a guy before me that was the standby, and then became the alternate, and then they changed it because the role's for Gabe, I think he's done like 700 performances or something.
Wow.
So he can't do the 8 shows a week. We probably could still, but it's nicer for him. Yeah. So
We're all getting older.
yeah.
You know.
So all of us have our own masks for us that are sculpted for us. Teeth, our own teeth for the
wow.
teeth in. Glasses, just everything. It's been a wild adventure, and just one I don't want to end. Unfortunately, it is at the end of April.
End of April.
Yeah,
I must get along.
the show's closing, so I'm just going to keep.
Sad times.
I'm just going to keep enjoying it every time I can.
Like all good actor friends, we will come and see you literally in the last week.
Yeah,
Everybody
It
leaves.
always happens.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't make it.
Yeah.
Phil had a cold once.
And that mask, do you now feel natural performing in that, or is it still like an unusual experience?
Do you know what? I was so lucky in rehearsals. So I believe that Gabe and Reese, who did it before me, when they were rehearsing, they didn't have a mask for like the first couple of weeks. They didn't have the teeth, they didn't have the fat suit, the dress, nothing.
Oh.
Whereas they had made, because the show had been going for a while, I had like a spare of the second cover from the first cast that sort of fitted my face. So I could get used to having that feeling. My teeth arrived really early because obviously it just changes the way you talk.
Yeah.
But that helped straight away. So no, now, the moment, it sounds, again, so eggy, but the moment you have that mask, the wig, the teeth in, you just feel like and it just makes it so much easier to go. Because again, they haven't made the show easy for whoever plays Daniel.
Yeah.
Not only are you playing, obviously, 2 characters, you then have to do all your voices. You have to do a whole scene of loads of impressions. You have to do a live loop machine. Like, there's so much to it. So that aspect of it, actually, I found the easiest part. That was the part.
So it's the next step up for once you've got the shoes, darling. Everything falls into place.
Yes.
Right.
Laurence Olivier was all about noses, wasn't he? He always used to have a false nose.
Oh, really?
He couldn't find the character until he got the right nose.
God, what a random,
I know.
random part of the face. Have to have a new nose.
God, I have to.
How does he smell?
Terrible. Do you reckon when you leave, sometimes when you leave a show and they say, take your tap shoes, do you think they'll give you all your bits and bobs?
Take your faith.
Yeah, well, I don't want to get my hopes up, but I think we are allowed to keep the mask.
Wow.
Because I know that
So
Reese,
good.
when Reese left, bless him, he was so amazing to me, taking over from him. And I remember seeing the mask on his desk the day before he left. So I'm almost certain we're allowed to take it. I hope so anyway. But
Fancy dress party, every single one sorted from now on.
Yes.
I said to Daisy, like when you go into people's houses, there's like a horse head on the wall. I'll just have Doubtfire's face on the wall as you come in.
What does that mean if you wake up and find Mrs. Doubtfire's head in your bed? It's like, what's the...
I've already scared. I said to her, I was like, I think I might just wake you up in the middle of the night wearing it, just towering over you. She was like, do not do that. It's terrifying.
So
And were you a fan of the film growing up?
Yeah, especially Robin. Like, he just is the GOAT, isn't he?
Robin, of course.
Robin
first
Williams.
name terms.
Yeah, I don't know
but
why I just said that. Yeah.
No, but you're literally following his footsteps.
Yeah.
You should say
Well,
Robin.
it's funny actually because I'm a very hairy person anyway. I shave for the show, and the next day my stubble. I shaved yesterday. And I've already
You
got
shaved on
stubble.
the way in, didn't you?
So my body's quite hairy
For the benefit
as well.
of the tape, Billy has a 5-foot-long beard.
Like ZZ Top.
So when I was doing, I remember I did the dress run, and my body was really hairy at the time. I thought, I'll like trim it before. And Tara, our associate, she was like, it's hilarious because Robin Williams was so hairy. She's like, so it actually works really well. But no, going back to I watched Robin Williams as a kid, just in everything. Jumanji was like my main one with him.
Oh, yeah.
But Mrs. Doubtfire especially, I used to watch it all the time. And the show, the one thing I love about the show is they've really paid homage to the film. But we're not trying to mimic Robin Williams because nobody can be Robin Williams. No one will ever be him. So we just pay tribute to him and Mrs. Doubtfire. But we still have our own... Like me and Gabe do completely different impressions and voices as well.
Oh,
we
wow,
have,
yeah.
We have that complete freedom, yeah. Because I've got a very high set voice, whereas Gabe can do high, but he's very, very good with like bassier stuff as well. So he starts to show Homer Simpson. I do Marge Simpson. He does... He's been doing a great Jeremy Clarkson at the moment. I just can't get down there. So I do the Muffin Man from Shrek. So I did watch the film, and even talking about it now, I'm like, I get to play her tonight. That's awesome.
And afterwards, any kind of
Not at the moment.
sneaky
No,
news?
no. I had a few auditions before Christmas that didn't go my way, but really, also the time I joined. Anything that was auditioning around the time I joined, obviously I was still contracted to Doubtfire. And the closing hadn't been announced at that point, so I probably would have stayed for another year if it stayed.
Billy Roberts, available from April.
That's one of the tricky things about being an actor, though, isn't it? Like fitting your work together. I think,
100%.
it's like 20% of the job is juggling your
It really
diary,
is.
isn't it? Yeah.
And I mean, it's nobody's fault, but the hilarious part was my first day in the building officially taking over was a Tuesday, and then my first show was going to be the Thursday night. And on the Tuesday was when we announced the closing day.
Oh, my God.
Right.
So I was like, great. But you know what? It's actually great because I know this is what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I'm going to put everything into it and enjoy my time and take it for what it is.
And Billy Roberts is now known as the closer. Every show he starts,
I know.
it's jinxed.
Whatever show I do next, everyone's going to be like, oh, no.
Yeah, don't get Billy and we'll
Not
definitely
him.
close.
Yeah.
But you've had a really good run, Billy,
Oh,
up till
my
now.
God.
The last few years have been amazing.
I know. Since COVID, actually, since we did Panto together.
Yeah.
We probably jumped ahead about how we first met.
We
but
didn't really mention that,
No.
actually. True.
How did you first meet Billy?
Justin, you say.
We did Panto
Yeah,
together.
there we go.
Great story.
Yeah. No, do you know what? It's the best Panto I've ever done. It's the most fun I've ever had. with these guys and Sue, it was just incredible. We had a great cast as well, didn't we? In Newbury. And we just had such a great time. That's when I first met these guys. First time I was introduced to Showstopper, and I just couldn't believe the talent. I was just like, it was amazing. So we've always stayed in touch. But from there, really, I started Rock of Ages after, didn't I?
Which we saw, and it was great.
Oh, in
Southend. Yeah, we saw it in Southend. Yeah, so cool.
And then, sort of been so lucky that I'd finished that. I then played Mr. Madden's in Nativity. Then after that, I did Titanic on tour. Complete change of genres.
Yeah, wow, that's...
Oh, you came to Norwich.
I remember seeing you after Norwich and you being like, this is different.
Yeah. And then, actually, I remember the night that we met each other after the show at the stage door, and you said, what are you doing next? I said, I'm waiting to hear about this brand new musical, I Should Be So Lucky. And then the next day I got the call and got told I got it. So then I went from doing Titanic to then doing a Stock Aitken and Waterman musical with Kylie Minogue as a fairy godmother on a screen mirror.
Did you meet Kylie?
Well, they all did. The one NA that I had in the entire contract for Daisy's sister's wedding was when she came in.
Oh, no. Oh, my.
Yeah. But they all said she was lovely. She literally came in that day. She had a full day of filming the next day, and then flew to do her one-woman show in Vegas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's a grafter, that woman.
Oh,
isn't
my
she?
God,
Yeah, absolutely.
Rocket.
And Lucy May, that played the lead, she got to do a whole day of working with her as well. So it was so great for her. And she just said she was just relentless, non-stop, just like, amazing woman. I finished that, and then I got this.
It's just been non-stop.
Yeah, but that's what's worrying, because we're going to have a pause moment, and I'm worrying it's going to be after April 26th.
Maybe you do need to take a breath. It's not about, have a holiday, mate.
True.
You could go on holiday. Where would you go?
Well, I'm me and Daisy are getting married next year.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah. So we got engaged. I proposed to her back in start of November. We went to Prague. So I proposed to her on the Charles Bridge in Prague. And so we get
What did she say? Don't leave us in suspense.
She said yes. And the funny part, it's a funny story of that, actually. So I had planned to do it the next morning. I was going to do it like sunrise. Everybody had said it's a gorgeous view, from the bridge. And I don't know why, we were leaving the apartment that we were staying in. And when we'd landed, and it was just a beautiful day, and the nighttime. Have you been to Prague before?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's such an amazing place. And at nighttime, it's so romantic. And I just put the ring in my pocket. I was like, just in case. As we were walking, she stops at a jewellery shop, and I swear, she literally goes, that would be my dream ring. And it was identical to the one I had in my pocket.
Whoa.
I swear.
Lovely.
And I was like, this is a sign. And we got to the bridge, and she started making a joke that she was like, while we're here, I'm going to propose to you. So I literally went, actually, while we are here, that ring you saw earlier, is it nicer than this one? And then she just like screaming and crying.
Oh my God, I got a bit of teary.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
So we got engaged in November. So we're getting married next year in Italy.
Lovely.
Wow.
Yeah. So actually, I'm excited. That's going to be the holiday that I'm looking forward to. We can't afford to go anywhere now.
Fair enough.
So sort of wedding moon.
Yeah, wedding moon.
Where in Italy are you getting married?
It's called Umbria.
Oh, yeah.
Umbria, yeah. So we're getting we're actually going to view that in May. We're going to view the venue, but sort of on like an estate with villas, and it's going to be amazing. Yeah. So life, I feel truly, truly lucky and blessed with how life has been going.
You deserve it, mate, though.
Oh, thank you
I
so
got to
much.
say, so we met doing Panto in Newbury, and you're right, it was a perfect storm of delightful. It was just one of those gigs that was absolute magic. Really great, just really great people, all who got it, worked well together. It was genuine, gentle, lovely fun. And I was a dame, and Billy was Dandini. So we had
So
an
great.
absolute ball.
Oh, we did.
Like messing about together, didn't we?
It was just so much
doing
fun.
hot stuff. It was so funny.
You had like a spin on your Dandini though, didn't you?
He was Del Boy.
Yeah.
So he was
Deldini.
Deldini.
That's right, yeah, he was
Deldini,
Deldini.
yeah. And I remember when they first said, I thought this is a bit weird, but it did work. The audience loved it, didn't they? It went really well. But the whole cast, obviously, I'd worked with Will before. He played the Prince. Chloe was what pantos did we do?
Cinderella.
Oh, Cinderella, of course we did.
Yeah.
She
Chloe
was Cinderella.
Gentle was
Chloe Gentle was Jade. Sue was obviously there. Honestly, I had such a great Christmas.
There was me, Sue, Ali, and Jordan as well. One
Oh,
of
of course.
our MDs. We did a Showstopper Magic improv.
Front cloth,
We
yeah.
did some front cloth, a couple of improv songs. It was really fun.
It was amazing time. Can I actually tell the story about when I got Doubtfire?
Please do.
So only because it's funny as well. You talking about so I was on a cruise ship when I got the phone call to say, I really do believe in manifesting. Like, and I remember I was doing a short little job for my friend after I finished.
Clearly it works.
Yeah, for I Should Be So Lucky. After I finished I Should Be Lucky, I saw it come on Spotlight. And the Spotlight said, cannot exceed 5'9". I'm 5'9". Has to be between 30 and 40. That's me. Impressions. I've always done impressions and voice. I love to have sort of done those sort of things. I must be a tenor. So I was like, blimey, this is my casting. So I called my agent. When I got off the phone to my agent, I was in a car and a bus pulled in front of me and the Doubtfire sign was looking at me on the side of the bus.
Whoa.
And I was like, this is like, so then got a call to say they want to see you on this date. And I was on a cruise ship. I was like, no, I can't believe it. And they're doing
on holes or working?
No, I was working on there. Literally, I was on there for 2 weeks. Right. And we were in Liverpool. It was a UK cruise. We docked in Liverpool. It was the one day we wasn't doing any work, and the ship left at 11:30 at night.
Oh my
so
God.
I had enough time to get on the train, go to the job, go to the audition, get back to Liverpool, and then finish the cruise. And then the final was the following week when I was home.
Wow.
So then I had that, and then obviously it all worked out well.
That is a quick turnaround.
I know,
Normally
really quick.
It goes on for months and
No,
you have like 20 things and dance calls. It's so annoying.
They only had Reese staying on for a certain amount of time and then he had to leave on a certain date. But the funny part of being on the ship was, so I was practicing in my cabin. So at one point you'd be like, Euphigenia, Doubtfire dear, you'd be doing that. And then the next point I'm doing like, do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man! And my cabin steward the next morning said, Mr. Roberts, are you okay?
So great.
Yeah. So it's that was my story of getting Doubtfire, but everything happens for a reason.
And just imagine if you'd just gone, it's just too much to get down to London and back on that day. Never mind.
Yeah. I remember it being boiling as well. I remember the aircon was broken on the train. I was sweating, but I was like, "Why am I doing this? There is no way I'm not going to this audition.
What were your audition songs?
So I just had to sing a song from the show.
Great.
Yeah. So the first, one of the most, obviously there's two real serious moments in the show, and it's the court scenes. So the show's very early on in the show, you have the court scene where they say, you've got a trial period. So you sing a song there called "I Want to Be There," where you're talking about what your kids mean to you, and I'll do anything for them. They're the reason I breathe. So you sang that song, so the serious side, and then the audition material for Mrs Doubtfire was the first meeting with the children and the phone call scene. So they were, and then I did them again. The final was crazy because I went in and did half an hour with the team that I'd already done it with to polish some stuff up. Went outside and then came back in, and then Jerry Zaks, Tony Award-winning director, was on a massive plasma screen behind me.
How relaxing.
Yeah. Obviously watching me do it, but the camera was there, so I'm facing the camera, but he's behind me on the screen. So when he's talking to me, I'm like,
my God.
So I didn't know what to, it was so crazy, but he was so nice. He was so nice. And then it was like literally a week later, I got a phone call to say I'd got the job.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I celebrated for about 5 days.
Quite right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can we all quickly do a Mrs Doubtfire impersonation?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, great.
Do you know some lines from the film or approximate?
Billy will give us let's see if we can out Doubtfire.
Okay.
Let's see.
I want you to say, for 15 years, I was employed for the Smythe family.
For 15 years, I was employed by the Smythe family.
It's not bad. It's
Very
not bad.
Good, pretty good. Give a line to Justin.
Euphigenia Doubtfire, dear. My expertise are in entertainment.
Euphigenia Doubtfire, dear. Let me start again. Euphigenia Doubtfire, dear. My expertise is in oh, crikey.
Well,
Very good.
I'm sorry.
Expertise is in expertainment.
I've got some competition. That's very good. Very good.
April.
For one performance only.
It's your turn.
Okay, what's my line?
What can you say? That's my name, dear. Doubtfire. Mrs. Doubtfire.
That's my name, dear. Doubtfire. Mrs. Doubtfire.
Very good, guys.
So
very,
good.
very, very good.
Nobble Billy, quick. Get on the phone.
In the stage show, do you do the moment where Stuart gets the cayenne pepper prawn stuck in his throat?
We don't do it.
Okay, right.
No, we don't do it.
Is that character in it, Stuart, though?
Stuart's in it.
Yeah.
Yep, played by the wonderful Matthew Goodgame. So there are certain parts of the show it's a bit different.
Sure.
But that scene, actually, Daisy's family are huge Mrs. Doubtfire fans, and they were nervous. A lot of people are nervous about coming to watch the show and go,
Yeah.
it's not going to be the same. But it's a restaurant scene called La Rosa, and there's this flamenco singer in the restaurant. So while you're going in between, there's this singer with these like flamenco boy dancers, and just in the madness of all the dancing, that's when everything happens. It's just like Daniel. But everybody that watches it goes, do you know what? It's actually great. You don't miss what actually happens in the film.
Mm-hmm.
But we still do have some of the really iconic moments from the film. The pie.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
of
gotta have
course.
that.
The pie is in it. There's loads of stuff that's still in it.
You very much picked the one moment that isn't.
Yes, sorry about
I
that.
just remember, who remembers this moment from the film when she says, when the teeth are in the drink, and she's like, make a pincer, It just always used to crack me up when I was younger.
Well, I think it was my final dress rehearsal, I still was getting used to, even though the teeth helped, you do get used to them. And if you did any like real big like Fs or anything like that, sometimes they would come out a bit.
Oh, yeah.
And in the dress rehearsal, I was doing a bit with Stu after the song that me and him do together at the start of Act 2. And they come out. And luckily, I caught them and spilled them. But I thought, if you could do that every night, that would be really funny. But you just can't guarantee they'll fall into the audience. And,
Yeah.
But I love that bit in the film.
You cheap man. That's worse than a rehearsed
I know,
corpse.
I know.
But very tempting.
Yeah, I know.
My friend, I'm actually married to him. He's my husband. We are also friends at times. But yeah, I think that'll be you and Daisy next year.
He doesn't
you
listen
can
to
look
this
forward to
podcast.
being friends with your partner. John, he's currently in the panto that I'm in, and he plays Freddie Mercury at one point. So obviously he has big teeth in, and honestly, the laugh it gets when the teeth drop, I've never heard anything like it. People just like holding their sides laughing.
Yeah, it's so easy, isn't it?
Such a stupid, silly thing.
There's a few bits in Doubtfire where the audience, it doesn't matter how, if the audience, you do get livelier audiences, some audiences are a bit more tame, but there are certain moments where no matter what, you always know you're going to get that huge laugh.
Yeah, so joyful.
Yeah, it's great.
Did you always want to be an actor, Billy?
Yeah, so I started from a young age. It's always that standard thing of, Billy's a lovely kid at school, but he don't stop talking. What can we do? Send him to drama.
Army.
Yeah. So I started doing drama at school, and then went to every Wednesday night, really, back in Essex, where I'm from. And it just started from there. They had an agency, started putting me up for stuff, did a bit of extra work, and then I did Chizzy Bang Bang in the West End as a kid. And again, full loop story. Daisy was in it with me at the same time, and we didn't see each other for 18 years until we did Nativity together. Yeah.
That's adorable.
So it was crazy, yeah.
Your life is one big manifest.
I know, it's mad, yeah. But it's crazy, actually. There's still quite a few of us from back then. It was 2004. Still quite a few of us still in the industry doing it now. Mitch, one of the lads I did it with, he's the lead in MJ at the moment. So it's... so from there, that was really when I thought, oh, yeah, I want to do this. I really want to do this. But I didn't start musical theatre, sort of touring or being in town until 2017. I did the Our House musical because I worked for P&O for quite a few years as a singer in the cruise ship. So I sort of left college and did that. And then it was 2016 I finished the ships and thought, no, I'm really going to have to go with this now. I'm going to stay. And thank God, it's been happening ever since. Yeah.
I have to say, Billy has got one of the best voices you're going to hear.
Oh,
it's a really amazing. You got pipes, man.
Oh, thank you, mate.
Yeah.
Cheers. You can sing yourself.
Well, yeah, but we're not here to discuss me.
I know that.
Of course, given
Yeah.
Would you like to play a little quickfire game with us, Billy?
a quick fire Doubtfire.
Yes.
Oh, quickfire Doubtfire.
Mrs Doubtfire here. This game is called Musical Moments.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to read out a clue. The first person to answer gets the card. Okay?
Okay.
So I'd like a moment from a musical where people go on holiday.
Mamma Mia.
What's the moment?
Oh, I haven't seen it. I just know that they do.
I should be so lucky they all go to Turkey.
Yes, I'm
There you
going to
go.
give it to Billy because Billy's the guest.
Is this We Let Billy Win game?
Yes, basically.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm really competitive, but
Also,
I'm
Billy, how's the podcast going?
Oh, I'm loving it.
Oh, great.
Thank
Genuinely,
heavens.
we're having
Thank
fun.
heavens.
That's really
It's
good.
so good to just be sat with you again.
Yeah, so nice. A musical about school.
Matilda.
Yes, Justin.
Sorry, Billy.
Very good.
I'm not letting him win. I'm not.
Wow. Justin is cutthroat. I was going to say School of Rock.
Very
I actually
good.
wasn't
Yeah,
concentrating.
but you didn't know, did you?
But I
thinking
didn't.
I was thinking about when we used to be in the theatre for 8:30 warm-ups for the school shows.
Oh,
Remember
Oh
that?
that
my
was
God.
killer.
Yeah.
That's what you think of when someone says school.
It literally, everyone's like...
All
us sat
pantos
here,
ever.
Us sat here having a laugh. We used to do that in the green room at 8:30 in the morning.
A moment in a musical with an item of clothing for cold weather.
Wicked when she gets her clip.
Oh, yes, Andrew. A musical with a book.
Book of Mormon.
Oh! Oh! A musical with a professor.
Wicked. Professor Dillon. Dr.
Oh,
Dillon.
yes. Peter Dinklage.
Yeah,
What
in
a
the film.
performance.
Great.
A musical with sports in it.
Matilda. Do they must
Phys
play.
Ed.
They do Phys
And the
Ed.
Hammer.
Yes. Yes, okay.
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that because that's not. I just.
I mean, the hammer
Beautiful
is...
game.
Oh, well done, Billy.
Yeah, much better answer.
All right,
did
now
give
we're
it to
equal.
me.
Now we're evil. Now we're
evil.
Equal and evil.
A
2 all. How many questions left? 2 all.
4.
4 left, okay.
A musical with a toy in it.
Bang Bang.
Very good. What was the toy?
The toy maker, the doll box.
Yeah, the doll box. What do you
See?
Dun, dun.
Very
Okay.
good.
Something you get in a bottle in a musical.
In Wicked, the green elixir.
Wow.
I was
Andrew,
actually
you are just killing it on the Wicked front.
No, I was gonna say I saw Benjamin Button the other day.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a bottle. He does a note in the bottle. Have you seen it?
No.
Please go and watch it, guys. It's unbelievable.
Glass in a musical.
Wicked.
What glass?
Which moment?
I don't know. I'm just trying to win.
A moment in a musical with glass.
Tommy, the looking glass that's broken.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, that is good.
Drew's all over it.
No, this is for a tie.
This
Otherwise,
is-
he's won.
okay, yeah. It's 4 to me, 3 to Billy, 2 to Justin Brett.
A moment in a musical where anyone or anything is put inside a container of some sort.
Anyone or anything is put inside a container.
Chitty
of
chitty
some-
bang bang. The children get put in the. They get the child catcher puts them. Puts
very
them in
good.
the.
Very good. Okay, count them up, team.
You were only ever going to draw anyway, Billy.
It's 4
You gave
to
me
me,
some.
3 to my co-quizzers.
So, esteemed colleagues, Justin and Billy, 3 each.
But I donate these 2 to Billy.
What?
He's a guest.
Billy's
Amazing.
Yay.
Billy, how's the podcast going now?
Oh, it's so good. I won.
How would you like to make up a song with us, Billy? What does that make you feel?
Scared, but I'll give it a go.
That's the right answer, I think. Scared, but I'll give it a go.
Yeah, you're in safe hands. We've got your back, etc., etc. Fill in the blank.
So comforting. This song is called A Prague Proposal.
You're going to do it, mate, aren't you? Tonight.
I think so.
You should.
Tonight's the night. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna ask her to be my wife.
Tonight's the night, and you can go through it. It's the start of your new life.
Proposal in Prague. They'll all remember the name. Prague, Prague, Prague. That's when we became.
Proposal in Prague, they'll remember the name. Prague, 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 that's when you two became. Mr. and Mrs. looking toward the future.
I can't wait to say, hey, that's my wife.
And everything you do, you'll do together.
Please, please don't leave me. I love you.
Proposal in Prague, they'll remember the name. Prague, 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 that's when you became. Proposal in Prague, they'll remember the name. Prague, 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 that's when you became.
Prague, Prague, Prague.
Prague, Prague, Prague.
Prague, Prague, Prague.
That's when you became. Nice! How lovely!
The Showstopper podcast is hosted by Ali James, and don't forget Andrew Pugsley. This month's guest was me, Billy Roberts. Duncan Walsh Atkins was on the keys, and the Showstopper guest was Justin Brett. It was mixed and edited by Andrew Pugsley. Production support from Susanna Rosenthal, Charlotte Lund, Kayleen Kine, and Ellie Grace for Something for the Weekend. Find us on all the social channels and our website, www.showstopperthemusical.com. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.